Hi, welcome to yet another episode of PhotoshopLightroomTV. I'm your host, Marek Mularczyk from sitetraining.co.uk, one of the UK's leading specialists in Adobe Certified training. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode and thank you for watching this week's episode of Photoshop Lightroom TV, the slightly unusual Photoshop Lightroom TV episode. If you follow my blog, PhotoshopLightroomBridge.co.uk, you'll find loads of useful information, and you may also read about my latest DVD that's just been released online. You can find it on Lulu website. It's the Unleash Power of Photoshop CS5. It's 12 high resolution videos that you can watch on a DVD. And you can now get it for 30% discount if you go to Lulu, or you can order it straight from my website and then you get a free posting. So you get a free postage if you order it straight from me. I'm going to share with you a link. In here you'll find a link somewhere here on the bottom of the page. So I hope you enjoyed it. Get and grab it. Get a free postage. I'm going to post it anywhere you live for free. So, okay. Now, let's start with our first tutorial. This first tutorial will be in Lightroom, and I'm going to talk about previews that are being generated when you import images, and also how you can change or how can you generate higher resolution previews later on once you've imported images already. Because that's what I get asked a lot. Very often people ask me on my Lightroom courses, okay, I've imported my images, I've set my previews to minimal, let's say, and I want to render high quality, high resolution previews. Do I need to import images again? Do I need to download them from my memory card again? No, I'll show you how to do it. So let's jump into Lightroom. Okay, here I am inside Lightroom, and I'm going to show you how when you import images, you can set the preview size that's going to be generated by Lightroom, and also how to apply it later on. So I'm here inside of Lightroom. I'm going to import some images. So in the library module, I'll just click import to open the import dialog box. Now at the moment I'm using the small version of the import dialog box that was new in Lightroom 3. Okay. And the first thing I notice is that it says already here that I've got 38 new photos here. There are 6 gigabytes. Now let's have a look on it. So I'm going to click on this icon here to expand it. Let's see what we've got here. I definitely want to copy, or I could also add. Okay, so I'm going to use, let's say, first of all, I'm going to use my computer. So I'm not going to use the memory card. I'm actually going to browse through my system, and I'll navigate to Users, Model 13, that's me, and Desktop. Okay, and I've got some images here on the desktop that I want to import. They're actually into separate folders. Okay, so if I open desktop here, I can see 2 folders. I'm going to use the photo stage folder for now. I want to import all these images here. One quick tip for you: now you can see the images bigger by using the loop view. This was one of the new features in Lightroom 3. Okay, I'm just going to jump back into grid view. The same keyboard shortcut. Yeah, E for loop view and G for grid view. And here on the right hand side, you've got file handling section. That's where you decide how to render the previews: minimal, embedded, sidecar, standard, and 1:1. I'm going into detail about these render previous options on my blog, so if you're interested, go to PhotoshopLightroomBridge.co.uk and you'll find a post about the previews. Okay, I think this was yesterday's post, so Monday's post this week, but you'll find it on the first page definitely. So I'm not going to go into detail in here. I'm just going to use standard. Okay, that's what I'm going to use here. Then import the duplicate, that's fine. I'm not going to apply any presets during import, so I'll just click import to start importing images into Lightroom, and it will appear here in just a moment. Okay. Now, a question I get very often when I do training in Lightroom with the clients, they ask, okay, I've imported my images here, I've got them here in Lightroom. Now what if I want to render a higher resolution preview? What if I want to render the 1:1 preview? Do I need to import images once again? No, of course not. Here's what you can do. You select all the images, so just highlight the one, press Ctrl A on Windows or Command A on the Mac, and then navigate down the library and then go to Previous and render one-to-one previous. Just click on it and Lightroom will render one-to-one previous for you. Okay? That's how easy it is. Quick and easy. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Hello, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed this Lightroom tutorial. Now, speaking of Lightroom, Adobe has recently announced an update to Lightroom, Lightroom 3.4.1. First of all, it fixes some important bugs, so please make sure you get an update. It's free. Lightroom will notify you about this update when you start it. If it doesn't, you can always go to Adobe website and download a free update. So it's 3.4.1. I've heard from some people there were some crucial problems that we're having with Lightroom 3.4. More details you find on my blog, PhotoshopLightroomBridge.co.uk. You find a whole post about 3.4 and 3.1 update of Lightroom. And because it's a free update, why not enjoy it? So go and download it now. Stop the tape, stop watching it, and go and download a Lightroom update. No, I'm kidding. Okay, but make sure you do update it. 3.4.1 if you're a Lightroom user. If not, go and get Lightroom right now. Go to adobe.com and download a free trial version of Adobe Photoshop Lightroom. Also, I've just found out from my friend Terry White that Amazon is running an offer on Lightroom. If you live in the States, or if you can order from the States, go to Amazon.com and apparently you can get a Lightroom for $119. That's $119. That's like half the price. Or maybe even less than half price, because I know there's more than $200 normally. So go and grab it. Now, stop it, go and grab it and come back later. Now, okay. Now, the second tutorial I'm going to have is Photoshop. And I'm going to share with you how you can take screenshots of your screen and prepare images using Photoshop so you could put them on your blog, or if you post somewhere, so you can crop it nicely, resize it, and make it ready for web. So we're talking about screenshots in Photoshop. Let's jump into Photoshop. Okay, so here I am in a web browser, and I'm going to show you how to take screenshots and put them in Photoshop. Okay, so I'm going to start in a web browser first. Because I'm on a PC, I'm just going to use the keyboard shortcut to take screenshots. If you're a Mac, you can use the keyboard shortcut to take a screenshot and then save it as a file on your hard drive. By default, Mac saves the files onto a desktop and also saves them as a PNG file. We're also going to save the images as a PNG files in Photoshop. PNGs are just so much better than JPEGs for screenshots. Okay, so I'm here on this website, on Amazon website. Let's say for some reason I want to write a post about this fantastic movie. What the bleep do we know? I would definitely recommend. I loved it. I'm just ordering it for myself. And I want to use this image here, okay, for a blog. So I'm going to take a screenshot. I'm using print screen button because I'm on a PC. Now the important bit is you need to have Photoshop started already. Okay, so I'm going to press print script on the keyboard. I'll jump into Photoshop and I'll create a new document. So file, new. Because I've taken screenshot and Photoshop was running already, Photoshop will try to create a new document with the preset of the clipboard. So you just press OK. It uses your screen resolution. And then you just paste it. Edit, paste, or Control V or Command V. So that's the image in here. Now I'm going to zoom into 100% view, so I'll just press Control 1. Okay. I'm going to move it a bit, because I just want to use this image. So I'm actually going to crop it. I'll select the crop tool. Okay. Make sure you have no options here in the options bar, so no width, no height, no resolution. And I'm actually going to use the image and maybe description here as well, because I'm going to point the viewers to Amazon website. So I'm going to click and drag. Now don't worry, don't try to be too precise when you start with it. You'll be able to change it in just a moment. So I'm going to crop that like that. Now you've got the handles here, so you can resize it. You can drag it up and down. A bit here, maybe a bit here. If you want to reposition it, you can easily use arrow keys on your keyboard This looks good. Maybe a bit less space here. Okay. Once you're done, you either click on this check mark in the options bar or press enter or return on the keyboard. So I'm going to press enter. That's the image. Now I want to remove some elements from here. For example, this advert of Love Film. So I'm going to use rectangular marquee tool. Again, no options here, 5/0. Click and drag to highlight it. Okay. And just delete it. Just press delete key on the keyboard. Okay. I use the delete key because the background is white. If you have a different color of the background, you may see different color below. So just change the color of the background. Okay, I'll deselect it, Control D, or select deselect if you use menu. Okay, anything else you want to remove from here? I'll keep the movie title, the format DVD, the actors, that's fine. Like, maybe there's one as well, so I'm going to zoom in a bit more. I just want to remove maybe that thing here as well. I'll just leave the stars. I don't want that here. And I'll move it a bit. Okay, again, delete key and deselect it. With price, I'll leave it, and this item delivered free in UK, that's fine. In stock, that's fine. And maybe I'll just get rid of that as well. So again, I'm just deleting it. Looks great. I'll zoom out to back to 100%. Now it's time to export it. If you're going to put it on your own blog and you're hosting it yourself, it's important how big the file is. So we're going to optimize it for the web now. I want to make it look good and at the same time make it as small as possible in terms of file size. I don't want it to be too big. So we're going to optimize it using Save for Web and Devices. If you look at the file, you find the option called Save on Web and Devices. That's how you optimize the graphics that are going to end up on the web. Okay. So I'm going to select Save for Web and Devices. This will open a new big window in Photoshop. I've got it set up to PNG already, but if you don't, look in the... Well, first of all, make sure it's set to Optimize. This tab here in the top left corner. You can look at the original, Optimized, 2-up, and 4-up. This is I'm going to use Optimized because I know what file format I want to use. In the top right corner, I'll set it to PNG8. PNG8 is great for screenshots. And then you can limit number of colors. I'll start with the maximum 256. It looks really good. It's 49 kilobytes. And then I'll try to lower number of colors. Keep an eye on the image, see if it changes. I can even resize this window so I'm closer to the actual image. That's 128. Still looks very good. And it's 40 kilobytes. I'll try 64. Still looks good, even though it is losing a bit of the quality, but it's only 32.9 kilobytes. I'll try 32 as well. No, doesn't look good. So 64 is fine, and it's only 32.9 kilobytes. Now the image is quite large, it's 622 pixels wide, so I'm going to resize it. I think it's too big. For example, on my blog, PhotoshopLightroomBridge.co.uk, the actual width of the post is at 540 or 550 pixels. So I'm trying to make images no more than 500 pixels. So I'm going to resize it to 450 pixels. This will be a good size. I'll just press enter. And now the image is only 20 kilobytes. Looks good. I'm ready to go. Convert to sRGB, make sure it's checked. That's great. What about the preview? I'll just use the standard RGB with no color management. That's what people with the monitors not calibrated see. And I'll click save. Okay. What do you want to save it? I'm going to save it on desktop. I'll call it screenshot. Okay. Format images only. Settings, default settings. Okay. And just click save. Are you still here? I'm so glad you are, because now it's time for the tip of the week. This tips of the week is about Lightroom. Make sure you back up your catalog in Lightroom, and you can set it in preferences on how often you want to do it. I usually back up my catalog once a week or sometimes once in 2 weeks, primarily because I don't work with Lightroom every single day. It depends. If you're a professional photographer and you work with your images every single day, create backups every single day. every time Lightroom exits, for example. Because if anything happens to your catalog, you've lost all the changes you've done to your images so far, unless you use a backup of the catalog. So make sure you remember about backups of your catalog and save them somewhere safe. For example, I keep my backups for the catalog on an external hard drive and on my laptop as well. So 2 places at a time. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. I'm Marek Mularczyk from from SciTraining.co.uk, one of the UK's leading specialists in Adobe Certified training, and this was... what was it? This was Photoshop Lightroom TV. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next week on episode 1,700,000 now, on episode 46. Thank you for watching. Make sure you visit my blog, PhotoshopLightroomTV.co.uk, or if you're interested in Adobe Certified courses, have a look on SciTraining.co.uk. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.